just in time, and welcome. I'm thrilled to have you all here in this today's webinar, and it's boosting mobile growth with innovative AD optimization. And I'm Roberto Sbrolla, growth team lead at AppAgent. We are a strategic growth partner for mobile game studio. We help games like Clash of Clans, Merge Mansion, Trivia Crack, and other to grow the user base, increase revenue through tailored growth strategies and creative communication. And I'm excited to bring some of that perspective into today's discussion together with our guest. As you may know, it's a very difficult kind of competitive, I would say, mobile landscape, and success doesn't come only having a great product. Definitely, you need a great product nowadays, but it's also about how well you leverage your data, you craft standout creatives, really to get attention of the players, of the users, and then how you embrace diverse ad format, and substantially how you continue to craft and to create a playbook for user acquisition strategies. User acquisition nowadays, it's the main growing engine for growing mobile apps and games, and it's definitely important to stay ahead, especially with creatives. And in this session, we are going to explore how innovative AD approaches can boost this engagement, so substantially help you to improve the retention, the return on investment of your product, and substantially how we can help you with some tips and insights to drive sustainable growth for your mobile apps and games. And the ideal goal is to let you leave this webinar with actionable strategies and tips that you can apply right away. But before we dive into the content itself, I would like our panelists to introduce themselves. And if you could please, each of you briefly tell us who you are, what you do, and we can maybe start with Ege.
Hey everyone, welcome. Great to be here. I'm Ege. I'm based out of Turkey, and I've been working in the performance marketing or UA sector for 4 years. I'm a part of a very nice and very agile app marketing agency. I've worked with them my whole career. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. And please, Zach.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to obviously mention my employer's name. It's ShyftUp. It's written on the screen, but yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, of course. My name's Zach Weiss. I'm the global BD at Odeeo. We are the creators of in-game audio ads, kind of a new way to advertise within mobile games. I'm in charge of all of the studios that we work with. I'm also in charge of the advertisers that we bring into the games. So basically focused on non-intrusive ads and making the user experience a little bit better for the players.
Absolutely. Thank you. What about you, Nahir?
Thank you, Roberto. Hello, everyone. My name is Nehir. I'm also Turkey-based, one of the 2 co-founders of PlayableX. Before that, I had experience in areas like business development, mostly both mobile gaming and e-commerce. I've been here in PlayableX for about 8 months now. And we do here is essentially create custom playables from scratch for mobile game studios, publishers, mobile app studios, and also brand agencies. And at the same time, we are also building modern advertising tools. And yeah, we started this project, this journey, the belief that labels play a really key role in helping products scale, and that the innovation gap in this space can be filled, not just through custom labels, but also other products. And now we are working a wide range of both local and global mobile studios and also brands.
Wow, seems quite a lot. I hope that we can have a chance to talk about this later. And what about you, Chadia?
Oh, sorry, can you hear me? Oh. Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Çağatay. I'm a key account manager of SocialPeta in MENA region. As you may know, that SocialPeta is an ad intelligence platform with the largest creative pool and network diversity that can help mobile app and gaming companies to optimize their marketing campaigns with its insights. So I will elaborate our insights at this webinar on my end.
Thank you very much. And not sure if you have the chance to, in general, going out, exploring what's happening in the market, and getting exposed to networking that much that you can get the grasp of what's are the trend. But this is substantially the first question that I would like to do to our guest, to get a sense of what's happening, what are the emerging trends that you notice in the mobile advertising, and especially how do you think this will shape the future of development of mobile apps and games? Anyone would like to start with that? Maybe Zach?
Yeah, of course. So I'm coming from maybe a little bit of a different perspective as I'm working in the, ad side of things. First thing that I've personally seen and that I've read a lot is that non-intrusive ads are going to be a bigger part of game development. It seems like a lot of studios are looking for new ways to monetize, to increase ad revenue, and by kind of using standard ads, interstitials, rewarded ads with, let's say, non-intrusive ads, maybe in-game audio, in-game billboard ads, native ads, etc. It's kind of a way for them to diversify and grow their revenue overall. I also think a trend is going to be doing more hybrid models, so not just building a game for ads only or in-app purchase only or subscriptions only, but they're going to kind of be trying to use all of them and see, how aggressive to use the ads compared to the IAP. Most of the time we see that the users that are spending are not going to spend less if there's, let's say, some rewarded placements in the game. And with those rewarded placements, obviously you have many different types, but I also see that playable ads are becoming a lot more popular. It's more engaging, probably has higher conversions as well. So I also think even within that kind of hybrid structure, you're going to be seeing more non-intrusive, and also for the rewarded, you'll probably be seeing more playables as well. That's my general perspective.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely see that working with different type of gaming company. Nowadays, CPI are quite high, and you need substantially LTV, lifetime value, or the value that you can get from the user that could be competing the cost of the actually you spend for acquiring them. So everything that can lead to a better retention, because they are not that intrusive, and that actually can, the end, bring value in a positive way, absolutely help. And what's your perspective in terms of trends, emerging trends, Nahir?
I totally agree with Zach. First of all, there's two things came up to my mind. The first is AI, the second is PlayableX. And in terms of campaigns today, AI-driven strategy is also becoming more common to identify high-quality users. And campaigns now use AI to learn and identify the right audience by grouping and targeting users more effectively. This is actually in our side one of the things we actively discuss in our daily meetings as well. How can we further integrate AI in our internal tools as well, and where the innovation gaps are, and how can we build meaningful solutions to fill those spaces with AI. And the second thing is, as Zach said, in our side, on the creative side, the rise of playable ads, it's become a key driver of performance in mobile advertising, because playable ads are delivering significantly higher conversion rates by offering users an interactive game-like experience before they install the game. So I can say AI and Playables will be shape the future of development of mobile apps and games.
Yes, thank you very much for your perspective. Absolutely, artificial intelligence is here. It's disrupting the market. It's here to stay. It's evolving every day. We are trying to keep up, and we try to stay ahead with integrating in our day-to-day work, and definitely will bring a lot of changes, but hopefully good one. And please, Ege, what's your perspective about what are the emerging trends that you can see nowadays?
Yeah, I was gonna say AI, definitely. It's kind of the buzzword these days. Nahir explained perfectly regarding like targeting audiences, etc. But also, I'm seeing a new trend that's emerging where ad creation or asset creation is getting like commoditized. I'm foreseeing this being like not being just a today's trend, but I foresee it moving towards the future too. The good thing with it is a lot of like smaller teams, smaller apps are getting in the game, and they don't need as much design or like creative resources as before. And for the existing teams, it's easier to create more designs, more iterations with the current creatives that you have. So I'm foreseeing a more competitive feature in terms of like marketing and asset creation. But I'm also happy because I don't have to like I don't have to annoy my design team or like production team as much, because now even I can do like simple iterations myself, like switching hooks, finding AI generated ideas and putting them like as ad assets, etc. So yeah, AI is making us all a little bit more productive, I think.
Okay, thank you. And what about you, Chatye?
Yeah. So on our perspective is the one of the biggest trends we are seeing on mobile advertising is the rise of the PlayableX, name mentioned, which are outperforming traditional formats at the moment with the higher engagement and conversion rates. So this is leading developers to design games that are more interactive and demo-friendly from the start. With the CPI for traditional user acquisition methods exceeding about the $30, over half of the $30. So over half of the top 100 global mobile game publishers now view PlayableX as a core strategy. So our data shows that in 2024, an average of 340 mobile game advertisers launched PlayableX daily, and at peak times, this is accounted for like 7.6% of all mobile game advertisers, meaning that 1 in 13 mobile UA teams are now regularly using PlayableX. That's as part of their strategy. And we are also seeing the big shift towards the hybrid casual monetization, combining ads and in-app purchases, which is pushing games to offer deeper, more engaging experiences. So overall, mobile ads are no longer about the promotion. They are becoming a part of the product experience itself. So that's what will derive the future of mobile growth on our side.
Yeah, this is matching. Thank you very much. That was really insightful, and it's confirming a bit. Two of you confirmed this trend on Playable ads, and in general, Playable ads, of course, AI. Then if you combine both, and yeah, definitely it's a big trend. If you look at how nowadays, especially on gaming side, there is a lot of ads that is starting with kind of mini games or experience that really let the user play, engage with the game itself already in the ads. and then this is translated into the game itself. So this experience it's integrated, and substantially the playable ads are becoming a bit of a bridge in between these two experiences, and makes really a lot of sense to me. Thank you very much for this vision a bit of the market, the context. And definitely would like to go more in deep now with some specific question, because for example, I was quite interested in the in-game audio ads actually. I would like to ask you, Zach, since you're an expert in this field, so in game audio advertising, if you could elaborate some key difference in between in-game audio on one side and traditional ad formats, so banner, interstitial, rewarded ads. So substantially, we'd like to see if how this format, the in-game audio, can really drive engagement, monetization, and maybe why is interesting for the developer to integrate, or for an app in general to integrate this format.
Yeah, great questions. I'm going to try to go in order of how you asked it, try to be as quick as I can. So generally speaking, the whole point of why, we created in-game audio was to give studios, publishers, a new way to drive revenue, to generate pure incremental revenue and not have it conflict with the current ad monetization stack that they use. The main differences, I would say, is first of all, our ads allow the players to play on. So with interstitials, rewarded videos, the users actually have to wait. They have to usually go out of a couple X's, might get rerouted somewhere. Now rewarded videos take even longer to finish. So the users aren't able to continue with the gameplay while those ads are running. Our ads are kind of running in the background and allowing the users to stay focused on the game while the studio can monetize them. So for example, let's say you're playing, a match 3 game, a merge game. Let's say you're racing. A lot of the times the actual game level is pretty short, and it might not make sense to play, a rewarded video or interstitial, let's say in the middle of the gameplay. But with audio ads, those are the perfect times to play it because the user is engaged and you can still profit with this kind of unique time in the user's journey where you can monetize them without it actually affecting what they're doing. So, let's say for user engagement or for monetization, if the user is bombarded with too many, let's say full screen intrusive ads, it might cause them to play less, right? Maybe lower retention, lower, LTV. If they're able to, not be disrupted as many times throughout their gameplay, it'll probably be for overall better user experience, will probably cause them to stay in the game longer. And it also give you kind of different ways to profit without having to be super aggressive. So that's kind of generally the idea and how we implement it.
If someone really would like to test this, what are the needs? Like, how big should be the game? Like, how many user you need to start monetizing properly? So that you have a meaningful revenue out of this format. What's your suggestion?
That's a great question. Usually we're seeing around anywhere from 5 to 10% of opt-out uplift, depending on how you implement it. I would generally say that, for a smaller test, at least 10, 20,000, users, let's say maybe tier 1. But to actually, I would say, competitively use it, anything over 50,000 DAO is probably a very good place to start. I don't think there's going to be, massive difference between 50 or 100,000 because it's just kind of pure incremental revenue. It's additional of what you're currently seeing. But obviously, the eCPMs are much higher than banners, but they're lower than rewarded videos just because they're less intrusive. So if you do want to see a significant amount of revenue, personally, I would recommend, like I said, anywhere around, I guess, that 50,000 is probably a good place to start. But obviously, hundreds of thousands, millions. So then that's going to just, exponentially increase the revenue. But somebody who's just starting out with maybe a couple hundred users or a couple thousand users, it might not be the first ad that I would integrate into the game.
Yes, absolutely. So then you need like an initial traction at least, and then you have already established audience. You have your monetization that is working, and you had this on top. Okay, great. And I think that's what is needed normally when you want to test something new. You need to have this mental framework if this fits your case.
Of course. And just last thing, also, if let's say you have a game that you built it more towards IAP and you don't want to, you don't want to integrate something like interstitials, which might make it a little bit more hybrid casual, and you want to kind of keep the game mechanics and the design the way it is, more mid-core, more casual. So a lot of studios will also say, let's then start out with audio ads or with non-intrusive ads in general, because then it's going to kind of be like a soft landing to start introducing ads to a community that's already grown, right? So in that sense,
a question then. I really would like to know if this is a valid solution as brand safe solution for IP, for example, because sometimes IP is not always it's easy to introduce ads because they might bring some low quality or some content that is not appropriate. So is this something that is brand safe still?
Yeah, 100%. We actually work directly with brands as well, like Lego and Disney and McDonald's. A lot of the ads that you might see with non-intrusive is more brand awareness compared to performance. So as opposed to, let's say UA or some company trying to sell a product or something that you might not be familiar with brand awareness, it's usually bigger companies that are more well-known that have budget just to spend on getting their name, their logo, their sound out there. So you can, I personally think that it's a lot more brand safe compared to the traditional ads because we're actually connected with those big, well-known brands.
Okay, thank you very much for this this overview. And we discussed a lot before about Playable, and I would like to ask to Nahir. So you develop, I was in the website, I saw that you will develop really a lot of custom playable ads for mobile apps and games. And maybe if you have a case study to demonstrate really how the playable can really optimize the engagement and the performance, and especially if this is a case study or if you have a success case, what are these key factors that really can contribute to the success of this playable?
Yeah, sure. As I said, we develop a lot of playables for like both puzzles and real mechanics or all genres that we produced. But recently we made a custom playable for one of our customers. It's like more like construction simulation games. Players start off the simple numbers and gradually build the city. And the playable actually we created, we mirrored the exact game's core mechanics and allowing users to experience a level of games directly within our playable. So this approach gave potential players a real taste of gameplay before they haven't seen the game. And this is the creation side, but in terms of performance, we observed noticeable scale increases, improvements in IPM and CTR, and in addition to these, retentions, ROAS, and in-app purchase conversion rates also performed significantly better compared to this specific game's previous standard video ads. And this real gameplay, actually, we also supported this real gameplay with dynamic camera perspectives and responsive sound effects and win and fail mechanics, etc. So overall, it's clear that playables had a strong positive impact. And this actually, this specific one, we also we deliver all our custom playables within our internal editor. which actually includes all the editable variables of our playables. So once you receive the playable from us, you can go into the editor and make various adjustments. For example, you can change the camera angle, change the obstacles, you can update the sound, or even change the background. And after making all these fine-tunings, all these adjustments, you can export a different version of this specific playable. One of key insights we had is like even a minimal changes in a playable can significantly affect its overall performance. For instance, we export this game with one camera angle first. After that, we slightly change the camera angle and completely shift the way the users feels while playing. And now we can confidently say that this minimal change can affect the ad's overall success in a positive way, for example, in playable side. Or one of another case study is we are Playables itself actually a game changer, but we have to try different things. We have to try new things and track the trends and datas, and it's crucial for us to constantly test and reply successful playables as well. But for example, we worked on a racing game, and we used real physics, and normally you would show the car from the behind those racing games, right? But when we made this ad, we try car like you are driving the car in reverse, and we noticed that the ad's performance improved significantly again. So these kind of small changes also helps you the playables success, and you can make a big difference in such a small changes as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. And do you see difference in between the playable ads standalone, and in some format there is the ads that's actually coming at the end of the rewarded video, for example? Do you see difference in between these two formats?
The rewarded videos you mentioned, the static ads, or mostly?
Yes, sometimes there is the playable are paired together with an ads before, or just the ads that it's the playable itself.
I can say that the playables itself, because it's give the users more like interaction to directly to the playable. So because the focus time is really right now is so important. So we have to catch the playable. We have to catch the actually players and users first couple of seconds with our mechanics. So I would say the playable itself.
Okay, so then on playables, well, the same rules that apply with the creatives. First few seconds are the key one, so they are the important. So thank you very much for this insight, Nehir. And I would like to ask, especially to SocialPeta, to Chatye. So you are working with the ad intelligence platform. So you work really with a lot of companies, and I really would like your perspective. So what is changing? You gave already maybe a hint before, but what is changing? What is diverse in terms of creatives, and how creatives can really contribute to app growth? And especially, I'm interested in the real case study on a real example that you can maybe illustrate briefly.
Of course, it's a great question. Thank you for that. So, as a SocialPeta, we are working with hundreds of apps and gaming companies globally, and we have seen that the diversity in ad creatives is no longer optional. It's essential for sustained growth. I'd like to provide some information from our latest report for last year. So in 2024, over 52% of the mobile game creatives launched each month were brand new. So that shows that how rapidly creative landscape is evolving. it's not about just the producing more ads. It's about the testing variations across formats, teams, CTAs, and styles to match audience preferences, and the trends across different regions and platforms. So, example is like Cygames, which is a leading mobile publisher studio in gaming, and in 2024 they released multiple playable creatives for titles like Vehicle Masters and My Little Universe, with combining minigame formats and interactive end cuts. These creatives not only boosted their engagement, but helped to maintain high user acquisition volume in saturated genres. From our data, playable ads alone made up over 8% of global mobile creatives in 2024, and it's in regions like the Middle East and MENA that shares reached like as high as like almost 12%. So regional creative adaptation is the key. Ultimately, by analyzing and iterating on creative performance in real time, app developers can discover what resonates and scale faster. Creative testing, isn't just a user acquisition tool. It's a growth engine for the marketing team. So that's all from my side. But if you have any additional questions,
yeah, definitely. I have a question. I see this trend, this discussion. It's mostly a discussion because it's not clear to me that there is a winner still. I have my opinion. Quantity versus quality. It's like, did you see a shift with, especially nowadays with AI, a shift to creating more ads, or it's more about creating specific, more ad hoc type of credits?
Thank you for this question. I think it's not quantity or quality issues about testing the types of the creatives with diversity. You should do your tests for each regions, for each user base, and it depends on the results of the creatives inside. So we provide every details of every creative types from all regions. So the marketing teams needs to analyze it from the tools like us, and after that they can do their testing in diverse manner, meaning, and after that they can optimize their campaigns. It's not about the pushing a lot of creatives every month. It's about the optimized creatives and diverse creative types on our
Yes,
side.
indeed. The process itself, it became quite important. How you test the creatives, so all the testing process and how you evaluate the creatives, and especially how do you extract as well the insight, because there is a lot to take, a lot to understand, and then if you have managed to understand what is working, then you can leverage the insight for practically across all the spectrum of the marketing. And thank you very much. And I have one last question for Ege in this case. I would like to talk with you about innovative strategies, innovative ad strategies that can drive performance, and especially they can scale. And if you have a specific insight at your agency where you are optimizing specific channel or creatives, where you could see a big impact on the performance. I'm really looking for some big impact case study.
Yeah, exactly. I can share one with Google Ads. So as everybody knows, like running iOS campaigns on Google Ads is a little bit of a black box, and it can be hard to like unlock inventories, especially like accessing those like visual inventories like display network, YouTube, etc. can get a little bit hard and tough. So there was a case where we had two simple but important touches to an iOS campaign of Google, where first we know that scan or SKAD network data is never like fastly reported, or it's always incomplete in some way. In Google Ads case, you have a lot of users that are coming from search that are not using Safari and are using other browsers, and they're not like attributed to by the SKAD network. And you can, you can have good performance, have good performance coming in from the campaign, but you might be only focused on SKAD network reported data, then you might be missing a lot of potential. The first thing that we do is we always use all the available data points that are available, meaning modeled Google data, SKAD network data, and even App Store Connect data, because it can always shed some light on how many installs, not exactly, but approximately I'm getting or I got yesterday. So that really gives the agility for you to act without waiting on the scan installs returning in a couple of days. So in one client's case, they were getting a lot more installs and a lot more events from Google Ads, but they weren't like aware of that. That's why they were limiting their campaign goals and like scalability to a very low spending, maybe like $1,500 per day. But actually, they could even like spend $4,000 to $5,000 without sacrificing any return on investment. So that's the first thing that we discovered with working them. We could essentially increase campaign goals up to like 20% even to serve even more to even more people, or spend a little bit more on a daily basis. And what that led to is the second part of the equation. Having a little bit higher campaign goal led to unlocking the display inventories. So they had given up on like trying new videos, trying to target like portrait UGC ads, etc. for YouTube, etc. So that unlocked that channel, and we were able to constantly, by creating new ad groups in the campaign, we were able to constantly test different like ad creatives, videos, etc. So with that also coming into equation, now they can, like on a daily basis, they can spend $5,000 to $6,000, and it's basically like tripling or quadrupling your daily spending or volume on Google Ads. So that's one thing that I can share on the both like creative side and also the data-driven or like scan limitation side.
Okay, very interesting. And I would like to question is, are you creating a custom report, or you're using some tools, that pre-built tools to analyze, or the MMP itself?
We use both MMP and blended data and use like benchmarks. So this is easier to do with like single channel clients, but we also do this for like multi-channel clients too. So you have a baseline of X, let's say, trials per day. When you activate a certain channel, that goes up right away. And with some discrepancy adjustment factors that we calculate in-house, we can approximately tell how the campaign impact is on a weekly or maybe bi-weekly cycles, and then decide that, okay, this is actually working for us, even though on scan, or even though on the modeled data side, it doesn't reflect that it's actually working. So we can like scale further. And the blended data is always important in this case, because if you have a daily or weekly overview on the blended data, like meaning everything you're getting, you can easily do a pre and post analysis and what the uplift that is coming from that channel and approximate the actual performance of that channel that you activated.
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, incrementality measurement, it's nowadays critical, especially if you go on iOS, where the attribution itself sometimes is a bit blurry. And yeah, understanding how much, as you said, you're gonna get actually the real impact of iOS campaign. It's definitely one of the things that we are working on as well. And thank you very much. I think it was a very diverse type of insight from for all of you. And I would like to close with one last question that I would like everybody to join on that. And if you can talk about in this contest, when you would like, of course, to grow your app on games, what are the biggest challenge that the studio, on the app owner are facing? So challenge one side, biggest challenge, but if you can give as well an effective solution on your side. So biggest challenge, but actually what's a solution out of the challenge that you are proposing? Maybe Chatai?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So I can share some insights. Like one of the biggest challenge facing mobile growth today is like the rising user acquisition costs and combined with creative fatigue and privacy restrictions. Platform like Google and Apple have tightened the tracking with SKA network and price sandbox, making harder to attribute performance and optimize campaigns like we used to. So at the same time, players' expectations are rising and competition is intense. Especially we see like some of AAA quality free-to-play games entering the market lately. To overcome this challenge, the most effective solutions I have seen include like creator level attribution, which shifts focus from user level to level data to measuring like actual performance of individual ad creators. This gives marketers a clear and privacy-safe way to optimize campaigns. And the second solution could be like the diversifying ad formats and platforms, including like playable ads, UGC, AR filters, and HTML web games. These formats not only reduce the creative fatigue, but also drive higher engagement and conversation. And the third optional solution could be like the hybrid monetization models. Mixing ads and in-app purchases are proving more sustainable model, especially in hybrid casual games. It's useful. This strategy maximizes LTV and offsets rising acquisition costs. And finally, investing in the product itself is the the better solution, I think, for this kind of challenge. With the product, better onboarding, more meaningful live ops, and social features that can significantly improve retention and growth over time. In short, like the key to track marketing and product development as on continuous feedback loop is like creative testing, user insights, and the product evolution all need to work together to get real mobile growth for the market.
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, especially about creative diversification, nowadays something to understand is that the creatives make the targeting. Substantially, the type of creatives, the format of the creatives, they can trigger different placement and they can trigger different audience. So especially on iOS, definitely the creatives are substantially your targeting. And diversification means you are able to substantially to reach more user, different user. Of course, depends on then the type of game or app you like serving. If it's something that is mainstream or more targeting, you have the possibility to target with the creative format itself, because creative format trigger different placement, trigger different type of audience. And I would like to do the same question about big challenge facing that is facing mobile crow today, and effective solution. Maybe Ege, if you can give us your point of view.
I think the biggest challenge has been after the iOS 14 update, the SK ad network, the attribution side of things, and I foresee it being the norm now. So I don't foresee in the very close future we're getting rid of the privacy stuff that have disrupted the industry a lot. There are a lot of solutions or workarounds to use, like Meta's AEM, TikTok's like ADC, Google's own modeling. They don't have a fancy name, obviously. Like Snapchat's, what was it? Was it advanced conversions? So there are a lot of attribution methods. There are a lot of data points. But I think the best way to mitigate the risk is focusing, not stressing about the newest thing, not stressing about the newest trend, trying everything and diversifying. So I've seen ad accounts that used maybe let's say Meta, that used scan optimization work very well. It was impeccable. We've seen great results. However, maybe when they used AEM, nothing was being reported because Meta couldn't fingerprint. But I've seen ad accounts that work very well with AEM, like even one day attribution or 7-day attribution, etc. Very well, but not work very greatly with SK ad network attribution. So I think the best thing everyone can do is try and see for themselves, and have an educated guess as quickly as possible without wasting a lot of resources. In ShyftUp, we were trying to focus on that. We're trying everything. We're trying to find what works best for our clients and stick with that. So that's maybe could be my input for this question.
Yes, absolutely. Very much in line with that. This grow mentality where you actually you would like to test fast, learn, and then reapply, but you have to do it in a way that it's in a good way, like with process, with the mindset that you would like to create meaningful hypotheses, prioritize just to avoid waste, and then you can find something that it's really working, that can bring the scale and the results that you are looking forward. And what about you, Zach? And again, biggest challenge in facing mobile growth today and effective solution?
Yeah, of course. So as was mentioned by a couple of the other panelists, UA, rising costs, CPIs is obviously a big thing. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. Obviously, you have the creative side, the, A/B testing different creatives, etc. But I'm more on the game design kind of side, where I think if people are focusing on keeping players kind of sticky from that first week, day 1, day 7, day 14 retention, whether it's by, building the right type of onboarding process, giving them enough currency, enough time where they can progress in the game without having to necessarily spend too much in the beginning. So I think these are things of basically increasing the retention, which will then, increase LTV, have more budgets to spend. That could be another way that studios now are looking towards handling, the rising costs.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to close with Nair. Then again, biggest challenge, effective solutions.
Okay. Actually, when it comes to the gaming side, the market has shifted. In the past, games with low retention, you could still scale well with the right growth strategies, right growth tactics. But now the bar is higher, and the games that combine strong retention with both ad and in-app purchase revenue are becoming the new standard. And creating those kind of games, it's not easy. It is something challenging, and which make this one of the, I'm not going to say major challenge, but it's one of the challenges, I guess, today's landscape. I don't know if this might be the solution, but requirements. But I think growth and product teams now have to work much more closely together, and they need to co-develop strategies and constantly share their insights. And to do this effectively, they need to be stronger data collaboration between these two departments for the mutual goals.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And my take is that if you are in a very saturated market, to make it true, you need the strategy substantially. And the earliest you work on this to find a competitive advantage substantially. Because if you don't have this since the beginning, I'm talking about what kind of strategy, what kind of USP are you using really to get the attention that your product deserve, and how you beat the competitors. Top of the charts, they know they are already a playbook, they have the money, because so how to go there? You need a plan, and substantially working on the strategy most probably is the most effective solution nowadays. And this start early, as fast as you can, and normally start with market research, start with insight data, and this is probably the way how you can go in. And of course, the other way is to be innovative nowadays. That is not easy; it's more risky. But copying, I'm not sure how much you can beat the competition nowadays, and substantially going in sideways, but based on some insights, some research that you do before. So a better plan, this is probably the way. Thank you very much. It was great, a lot of insight. I think we can open now the Q&A. I saw already that there are some questions in the chat. Thank you very much for doing that. Not only question, but I see that they are replying each other. And there is one question that there is that it's coming from Avi, on which ad networks are the best for running playable ads. So if Nahir, you want to do that, maybe, or I can take this as well.
Sure. No, I can say that as I said on the chat, it's depends on the budget and the target audience. But I can say that the first AppLovin, the second you can consider Unity.
Yes, indeed, especially we see that especially on both, but especially AppLovin, well, you really need playable ads, and this really complete the performance. You need to find this edge in each part of the funnel. If it's with playable ads on creatives, if it's with App Store optimization, if it's everything has to be smooth as much as possible. At the end, you are competing with someone that has the money, has the team, and at some point, all the funnel has to be smooth to be able to be there. And there is one interesting question that is, what are the most common mistake that normally people do when analyze competitor ads, and how they can avoid them? This maybe is more about Chatai. So because of course maybe you have this view because you're building on this topic.
And so I can say that like the most common mistakes in this business is making the creatives like the focusing only on the surface level metrics like impressions or likes, without looking at the engagement trends, creative strategy, or user intent in specific regions. Another problem can occur on the regional and platform-specific variations. Top performing ad on Android in Southeast Asia, for example, might not perform very well on the iOS in North America. So another pitfall and the mistake on this business, like the copying top creatives blindly without considering their formats or its messages to the audience. So it's important to analyze on your campaign and on your A/B testing. So to avoid these kind of problems, mistakes, we recommend studios or users to use ad intelligence platforms like us or other ones to go beyond visual, analyze durations, frequency, popularity trends, and the creative evolution over time, because the market is very dynamic at the moment. So it's important to follow the trends. And another way is looking for the patterns in positioning and CTA usage and format shifts on the creatives. And the most important most important thing is to treat competitive analysis as impression, not imitation. Like use it on your A/B testing and refine your own unique voice on the specific winning creatives and create your own strategy. So in the end, it's not about who you are copying, it's about how well you understand your audience, or how quickly you can adapt to what actually works for them. So that may be my answer for this. Don't copy everything. Take the inspiration and use it on your test.
Absolutely, that's copying. It's risky. Definitely could be a fast iteration, but normally it's not really working, especially because nowadays you need to create your own brand, and the creatives are your brand substantially. And how do you communicate? And imagine that you have something quite bad, a copy, and this is the moment your leading creatives. So this is your brand substantially. And do you want that? Of course, there is a performance to see. That's always important. The ROAS is leading, but still it's a question of what you would like to communicate and the brand that you are creating, because the brand can drive a lot more in the future, in the long run. There is actually an interesting question from Javi. This is about Playables, and it's a reflection. How come Google and Meta, that are actually the biggest, two of the biggest channel, the top three, why they don't have that much Playable? Or do you have any take on this, Nehir?
Yeah, sure. It's a good question, because the simple answer is they were late to focus on this area. And this is because their platforms are not specifically optimized for the unique requirements of playable ad formats. Playable ads are like interactive and often require seamless integration with the game or app or etc. So networks like AppLovin, Unity, IronSource, these networks have tailored their platform to support these formats effectively and offering tools and environments conducive to high engagement and performance. But Meta is really, they didn't focus on this area in the first place.
Yes, I think that this was an operational problem, because playables sometimes are custom. They require to verify the code, so maybe it's not easy to at scale. And then of course they were good already, so maybe they didn't need this extra layer, but maybe in the future is coming. It's coming as well for them, because everybody has to evolve and has to go to bring extra performance. So maybe it's coming in the future. I saw that we have some other question, and for example, we have how to tackle the high daily budget requirement per playable creatives charged by SDK network. Yeah, playable ads cost, and so sometimes studios, they tend to be conservative to test them. So any solution or how to approach this in terms of how many playables you need to go there? Maybe here again.
There's actually, I couldn't give this a specific answer, but I can say that the studios sometimes they also try different networks as well. So this is a really detailed question, and I can answer really detailed, but it includes also like some data that we couldn't share right now. So maybe another session I can answer this.
Yes, of course. I guess that it really depends, as you were saying before, the spending that you are investing. It's definitely it's relevant. So
yeah.
If you have to investing enough, start to make sense to bring in as well other format in, and then test against your current ads if the performance is improving or not. I think we are practically at the end. I really would like to thank you all for joining today, especially a big thank you to all our panelists for sharing such insightful perspective. We covered a lot. We talk about artificial intelligence, playable ads, in-game audio ads, and how data can be used to extract information about the creatives. And definitely in this mobile landscape, it's critical to stay agile, to have this forward thinking, especially on ad strategy. And I would like to continue the conversation, and if you are up for it, you can maybe look in the chat room. We're going to share in the chat room our details. You can easily put in contact with us and with all the panelists. And feel free to reach out. We are always happy to exchange ideas. Our panelists and myself, thank you all, and I hope that we're going to stay in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
everybody.
Thank you very much.